जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य शतोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणार वृंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टुकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Prabhuji, should we start? Wow. So we'll be reading today from Canto 7, Chapter 2, text number 10. तावद्यात भुवं यूयं ब्रह्मक्षत्र समेधुतां सुदयाद्वां तपोयज्ञा स्वाध्याय व्रतदानिना तावद्यात भुवं यूयं ब्रह्मक्षत्र समेधितां सुधायद्वं तपोयज्ञा स्वाध्याय व्रतदानिना तावद्यात भुवं यूयं ब्रह्मक्षत्र समेधितां सुधायद्वां तपोयज्ञा स्वाध्याय व्रतदानिना. We'll have one Prabhu and one Mataji. Please chant. Anybody? Tavadyata bhuvam yuyam ब्रह्मक्षत्र समेधितां सूदयद्वं तपोयज्ञा स्वाध्याय व्रतदानिना. Mataji's. We'll go straight to the translation and purport because we have a 2-page purport and we have to go through the purport. The purport is more important than my speaking, right? Translation. While I am engaged in the business of killing Lord Vishnu, go down to the planet Earth, which is flourishing due to Brahminical culture and a Kshatriya government. These people engage in austerity, sacrifice, Vedic study, regulative vows, and charity. Destroy all the people thus engaged. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Hiranyakashipu's main purpose was to disturb the demigods. He planned first to kill Lord Vishnu, so that with Lord Vishnu's death, the demigods would automatically weaken and die. Another of his plans was to disturb the residents of the planet Earth. The peace and prosperity of the resident of Earth and all the other planets were maintained by the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4:13, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasha. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society were created by me. On all the planets, there are different types of residents, but the Lord recommends referring especially to the planet Earth, which is inhabited by human beings, that society be divided into four varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Before the advent of Lord Krishna on this earth, it is understood that the earth was managed by the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. The duty of the Brahmanas is to cultivate Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Satyam, Shaucham, and Arjavam, and then to advise the Kshatriya kings how to rule the country or planet. Following the instructions of the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas should engage the populace in austerity, sacrifice, Vedic study, and adherence to the rules and regulations established by Vedic principles. They should also arrange for charity to be given to the Brahmanas, sannyasis, and temples. This is the godly arrangement of Brahmanical culture. People are inclined to offer yajna because unless sacrifices are offered, there will be insufficient rain, yagyat bhavati parjanya, which will hamper agricultural activities, parjanyat anna sambhava. By introducing Brahmanical culture, therefore, a Kshatriya government should engage people in performing yajna, studying the Vedas, and giving charity. Thus, the people will receive their necessities for life very easily, and there will be no disturbance in society. In this regard, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 3:12, Ishtan bhogan hi vov deva dasyante yagya bhavita ter dattan apradayabhyo yo bhungte stena evasa. In charge of the various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna, sacrifice, supply all necessities to man. But he who enjoys these gifts without offering to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. The demigods are authorized supplying agents who act on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Therefore, they must be satisfied by the performance of prescribed yajnas. In the Vedas, there are different kinds of yajnas prescribed for different kinds of demigods, but all are ultimately offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For one who cannot understand what the Personality of Godhead is, sacrifice to the demigods is recommended. According to the different material qualities of the person concerned, different types of yajnas are recommended in the Vedas. Worship of different demigods is also on the same basis, namely according to different qualities. For example, the meat eaters are recommended to worship the goddess Kali, the ghastly form of material nature. And before the goddess, the sacrifice of animals is recommended. But for those in the mode of goodness, the transcendental worship of Vishnu is recommended. Ultimately, all yajnas are meant for gradual promotion to the transcendental position. For an ordinary man, at least 5 yajnas, known as Panchamahayajna, are necessary. One should know, however, that all the necessities of life that human society requires are supplied by the demigod agents of the Lord. No one can manufacture anything. Consider, for example, all the eatables of human society. These eatables include grains, fruits, vegetables, milk, and sugar for persons in the mode of goodness, and also eatables for the non-vegetarians, such as meats, none of which can be manufactured by men. Then again, take for example, heat, light, water, and air, which are also necessities of life. None of them can be manufactured by human society. Without the Supreme Lord, then there can be no profuse sunlight, moonlight, rainfall, or breeze, without which no one can live. Obviously, our life is dependent on supplies from the Lord. Even for our manufacturing enterprises, we require so many raw materials like metal, sulfur, mercury, manganese, and so many essentials, all of which are supplied by the agents of the Lord, with the purpose that we should make proper use of them to keep ourselves fit and healthy for the purpose of self-realization, leading to the ultimate goal of life, namely liberation from the material struggle for existence. This aim of life is attained by performance of yajnas. If we forget the purpose of human life and simply take supplies from the agents of the Lord for sense gratification and become more and more entangled in material existence, which is not the purpose of creation, certainly we become thieves, and therefore we are punished by the laws of material nature. A society of thieves can never be happy, for they have no aim in life. The gross materialist thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to sense gratification, nor do they have knowledge of how to perform yajnas. Lord Chaitanya, however, inaugurated the easiest performance of yajnas, namely the Sankirtan Yajna, which can be performed by anyone in the world who accepts the principles of Krishna consciousness. Hiranyakashipu planned to kill the inhabitants of earth so that yajna would stop and the demigods, being disturbed, would die automatically when Lord Vishnu, the Yajneshwara, was killed. These were the demonic plans of Hiranyakashipu, who was expert in such activities. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. While I am engaged in the business of killing Lord Vishnu, go down to the planet Earth, which is flourishing due to Brahminical culture and a Kshatriya government. These people engage in austerity, sacrifice, Vedic study, regulative vows, and charity. Destroy all the people thus engaged. Hare Krishna. So, this section of Srimad Bhagavatam that we are in right now, it is considered the second biggest section, right? The first biggest section is which one? The Swaskand, right? Krishna Leela. 10th whole canto is devoted to Krishna Leela. And after that, if you all see, the next longest Leela you all can say is this section, right? All other Leelas that we see, Ramchandra Bhagwan, and all are, short, 1 chapter, 2 chapters. There are 10 chapters on this whole Leela. Thanks to श्रीमान हिरण्यकाशिपु. आप लोग बोलेंगे श्रीमान हिरण्यकाशिपु. This is how Srila Prabhupada addressed Hiranyakashipu. You all must have heard, right? Prabhupada said, Shriman Hiranyakashipu. Why? He said, but for Shriman Hiranyakashipu, would we have Prahlad Maharaj? Who's our aspiration, right? Aren't we all trying to become like trying to follow in his footsteps. Mahajano yena gata sapantar, trying to follow in the footsteps of who? Prahlad Maharaj. And if no Hiranyakashipu, no Prahlad Maharaj, means what? No Lord Nrsimhadev, whose shelter we are taking every day, twice a day, right? Morning and evening. Narasimham Adim Sharanam Prapade. Morning mein bhi gaate, evening also we sing, right? Prabhupada said, thanks to whom? Hiranyakashipu. So today our effort is going to be to understand this Hiranyakashipu, this personality. And more so, because Hiranyakashipu, I'm sure all of you all have heard the pastime and everybody knows about him. But what we are going to try to understand is this Hiranyakashipu personality in relationship to whom? Not to us. To whom? To me. क्योंकि हम जब अस बोलते हैं ना तो हमको सब हिरण्यकशिपु दिखते हैं, राइट? केवल एक जन हिरण्यकशिपु नहीं दिखता है. One person is not Hiranyakashipu. Who? You all know. That is why I try to emphasize, whether I'm giving a Bhagavad Gita class, Srimad Bhagavatam class, my emphasis is always that whatever we are hearing, Jaya Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jaya. Whatever we are hearing, we should not take Krishna speaking to Arjuna. Yes, he is speaking to Arjuna, but if you take it that way, then that instruction which Krishna gives, you will not take it personally. And unless we don't take it personally, we don't employ it in our lives. We don't उसको लागू नहीं करते. तो इसीलिए today our effort is going to be to understand this Hiranyakashipu's role in my life. What is this? Who is this Hiranyakashipu? Specifically in my life. So if we see this whole Srimad Bhagavatam only, that we are today reading and trying to understand. Even before Bhagavatam, let's go one step behind. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was the outcome of what, do you all know? Of a calamity. Right or wrong? Arjuna, totally confused on the battlefield. Imagine Arjuna is being asked to kill his father, his guru. Calamity, right? What did he do? He approached Krishna. What was the solution? Bhagavad Gita, correct? That is, Bhagavad Gita is the outcome of that situation, that calamity. And what was at the end of Bhagavad Gita, how does Bhagavad Gita end? What is Arjuna now? Nashta moho labdha simriti. Karishye vachanam tava. Ekdam total clarity. All that confusion and everything that was there, gone. And we'll come to that point again. Coming to Bhagavatam. What is Bhagavatam the outcome of? Prahlad Maharaj, cursed. You're going to die in 7 days. 7 days ka notice. What did Parikshit Maharaj do? Bhagavatam, right? He took shelter. 7 days, just forgot everything. Took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is the outcome of another calamity, right or wrong? Now let us understand. Somebody might say, Prabhuji, वो तो परीक्षित महाराज था, वो तो अर्जुना था, that were his problems. Me. We are in a more difficult situation than this Parikshit Maharaj and Arjuna. See, at least in case of Arjuna, in case of Parikshit Maharaj, he had a 7-day notice, right? Exactly he knew. 7 days ends, my day is over. Correct? Pre-warned is forearmed. If you are warned, barish aa raha hai, you will take your chhata and go. What is our state? Our state is exactly like we will understand. We may be in a more calamitous situation than Parikshit Maharaj. Pad vipad. Right or wrong? Our lifestyles, if a person understands, at every step there is vipad, danger, calamity, standing around the corner. Every day we hear, oh, that person got brain stroke, he's in ICU, this person passed away. Every day we keep hearing, right? But how many of us are awake to this fact? See, in this room, I know everybody of you all are awake. That's why you all are sitting in this room. I'm not talking of physical awakeness. I'm talking of another awakeness. But outside the world, how many people are aware also of their situation that they are in? Pad, pad, vipad. Do you know why they are not aware? Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu. We'll understand this personality, Hiranyakashipu, and as I said, in relation to us. What we are seeing now in Hiranyakashipu's pastime, what is Hiranyakashipu trying to do? He's not gone through the austerities yet. We'll be reading in the following chapter. What austerities he goes through? For what? What are the purpose of his doing what he was doing? Here he's mentioning over here that I become so strong, so powerful. What? I'll kill whom? Bhagavan, Krishna, Vishnu. Now many of us might think, we are not trying to kill Krishna, we are not trying to kill Vishnu. If you talk to outside people, they say, we don't try to kill Vishnu, Krishna, we don't try to kill Vishnu. Yes. To the degree we are doing exactly what Hiranyakashipu is doing, we are also, see, he is doing it in a very gross way, right? In a gross way, he is going to go and fight Vishnu and kill Vishnu. We are doing it in a subtle way, subconsciously. To the degree you don't accept Krishna, to the degree you don't accept Bhagavan's role in your life, you are Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu rejected, not only rejected the Lord, but he is trying to be the Lord. And to the degree we are trying to be, I am trying to be the Lord in this material world, that is Hiranyakashipu. See, Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Shishupal, Dantvakra. ये 6 तो आए और चले गए. They came, they played their role and they went away. And we'll try to briefly understand them also. Who's Hiranyakashipu? We'll talk about Hiranyakashipu. We'll leave the other 5 for the time being, because today we are dealing with Hiranyakashipu. Who's Hiranyakashipu? He's Jaya. They are Jaya and Vijaya in the spiritual world, right? Doorkeepers of the Lord. Is it easy to become a doorkeeper of Vaikuntha? You have to be a devotee, a pure devotee, for the Lord to have so much faith in you that he makes you the doorkeeper, correct? Jaya Vijaya. Now, then the question should come ki pure devotee hai, spiritual world mein. And he's in a position, not that he's just, any devotee. He's in a position. That means he must have been so responsible that the Lord has given him that position. How is it that this Jaya Vijaya, they get so furious upon these 4 Kumaras that they don't let them come in? That's a whole pastime. I'm sure it will be discussed later on. And the 4 Kumaras curse them in Vaikuntha. If somebody will hear, बोलेगा प्रभु जी ये तो यहाँ पर भी होता है. तो material world और Vaikuntha में what's the difference? Right or wrong? If I do something wrong, my friend doesn't like it, he'll shower all his anger upon me. May you meet with an accident. वो तो material world में होता है. How is it happening in Vaikuntha? So it is explained in the Laghu Bhagavatamritam. This was the Lord's plan. This was the Lord's will. This was the Lord's desire. Right? The Lord, when he wants to, it's explained by our acharyas that all the propensities that we have, originally when Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, what does he mean? I am the source of everything means everything. Everything is included. We have the propensity to fight. When the Lord wants to fight, whom is he going to fight? He's not going to fight me, So long story short, because we have to come to another theme. He induces from within Brahmajis to get, the 4 Kumaras to get angry, Jaya Vijaya to, stop them, and they cursing them to become demons. Now here's an important point to understand. Think of Jaya Vijaya. What type of, this is called a devotee. Jaya Vijaya knew exactly the heart of the Lord. It's not that they said, humko demon nahi banne ka. How can I become demon? Prabhu, Krishna, why don't you choose somebody else? No. They accepted it. They accepted it, not only voluntarily, how wonderfully they did that service, right or wrong? When they came as Hiranyakashipu, what a fight they gave the Lord. For the pleasure of the Lord. They knew this is what the Lord wants. Right? Lord Nrsimhadev appeared noon time, na Prabhuji? And he fought Hiranyakashipu till sunset. Now there were other reasons also. But this was the reason. Hiranyakashipu knew he wants to fight. What a fight he gave Krishna, Lord Nrsimhadev. His fighting the Lord was devotional service. Socho, bhakti. Pure devotee isko bolte hain. In the spiritual world, a devotee does not mind taking the role of a demon. When Jaya Vijaya come down as Hiranyakashipu, it's not that they were forced. They voluntarily took the role. Because for the pleasure of the Lord, we don't mind. We'll go and become Hiranyakashipu. Right? One side. Now the other side. We. We were also all in the spiritual world. Right or wrong? We also came from the spiritual world down to the material world. Right or wrong? Here's something to meditate upon. Did we come for the pleasure of the Lord? Is it that Lord Krishna wanted all of us, go to the material world? No. We came for whose pleasure? Krishna bhuliya jeev bhoga vancha kore. Pashete maya tade chapotiyat. So we have also come from the same place where Jaya Vijaya have come. Jaya Vijaya come voluntarily as a seva for the pleasure of the Lord. We come from the spiritual world to the material world for our pleasure. We also become Hiranyakashipu. How we become Hiranyakashipu? The I. Please make a note of this because our whole talk is going to be on this. I want to enjoy. That is what brings us in the material world. And then, when we are in the material world, Hiranyakashipu, in one way you can say, takes over us. All these six rather. In some days when we are angry, then we become, when we are envious, we become Shishupal. When we are lusty, we become Ravan. That's it. They did it in a very gross way. We are doing it in a very subtle way. But it's the same. So this Hiranyakashipu, you see in this verse that we are reading, what is he trying to achieve? One, kill Vishnu. And second, he's saying that because all these people on the planet Earth are performing all this, Swadhyaya, they are studying the scriptures, they are performing austerities, giving dan, yajna and all. So everything is very wonderful, very healthy, very wealthy, right? Destroy it. Because the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas are so well equipped, everything is so wonderful. Destroy the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas so that what will happen? This whole culture will be destroyed of austerity and dan and yajna and all. That means to the degree, please hear this carefully, to the degree one is not, these 4-5 things that Hiranyakashipu is mentioning, one is not into austerity, yajna, dan, tapasya and all that. What does that refer to? Hiranyakashipu, right or wrong? That means we are following Hiranyakashipu because that is what he's trying to, that's what he's trying to achieve. And he's saying to the degree we'll achieve this, then the demigods will be, not happy. And because the demigod will not be happy, the Lord will not be happy. So, long story short, the problem is, most of us understand, right, that we are Hiranyakashipus, Ravanas, Kumbhakarnas in different time, place, circumstances. But we want a solution. Right? More than the problem, everybody wants the solution. No? So in case of Hiranyakashipu, what was the solution? Nrsimhadev came, killed him. he went back. In case of Ravan, Lord Ramchandra came, killed him, went back. So हम लोग को होगा कि बाबा, what about me? Where's my hope? There is a hope. See, this is what we need to understand through these leelas. What is Krishna giving us, teaching us? One, he teaches us, yes, of course we understand that, like we understood, he does this leela for his pleasure to fight the demon. But the more important thing to understand is through these leelas, what is the Lord doing? He's waking us up. That each one of us who have come down and become Hiranyakashipus and Ravans, how we can wake up. In their case, Krishna came personally, killed them. Ram came and killed them. What about us? He has a plan for us also. Of course, in our case, it won't happen that the Lord will come directly. But how does the Lord facilitate in our case? You have one level is Shastras, then you have the Sadhu, and then you have the Guru. Through these medium, what the Lord is actually trying to do, He's trying to wake us up. He's trying to wake us up. That wake us up to this understanding of our existence at Hiranyakashipu level. And these mediums that we just now saw, Shastras hua, Sadhu hua, Guru hua, what medium do they use to wake us up? There are a lot of mediums, but we'll talk about one medium today. What is that medium? A temple. Most of the people's understanding of a temple is very shallow. That is why I thought today we'll talk about a temple. People have understanding. People talk, na, Ghar ek mandir. Imagine they have, that means the importance of mandir, but they don't have a deeper understanding of what mandir actually temple means. Ghar mandir hona chahiye, temple, house should be like a temple. But if you don't have an understanding of what a temple means, then will your house be a temple? Mere man mandir mein ek baar to aa jao giridhari. Yes, Girdhari will come into your mind and into your heart, but when you have an understanding of what your mind should be, right? What your heart should be, only when your mind and heart is like a temple, you are singing Mere Man Mandir mein, but then we have to analyze, right? Ki what it means for my mind to be a temple, what it means for my heart to be a temple. So, temple. Truthfully, I don't know how I'm going to achieve this. Because this talk that I gave usually goes for 2 sessions. But I'm going to give it in a very synopsis way. Before the class, I was given a warning, Prabhuji, keep an eye on the clock. So my meditation is going to be more on the clock. So we'll use this acronym of temple, T-E-M-P-L-E, right? Of these 6, the first 3 are important, T, E and M. Why they are important? The T, E and M gives us guidance as to what one should do when he comes to a temple, or what a temple provides for a person to wake up. The T, E and M. And the P, L, E is the result. That if you do the T, E, M, the result kya hoga? P, L, E. So our focus will be on the T, E, M. I'll talk a bit about the PLE also, because unless you don't have the lollipop or the fruit, then you're not enthusiastic. So we'll talk about the PLE also, but briefly. So we'll start with T. What does T denote in case of a temple? Tapasya. Now, for most of the people, only coming to the temple itself is a tapasya. Right? It's an austerity. You tell somebody, chalo mandir, arey kal to hoke hai mandir, Prabhuji, how can I go again? For some people, going to the temple, it's a weekly, assignment. I'll go once in a week. So only coming to the temple itself is a tapasya. And if you tell these people, ki coming to the temple means the temple will make you do tapasya, what will happen? They'll stop coming. I'm happy at home. You know why? Because we have a very shallow understanding of tapasya. We don't have the deeper understanding of tapasya. If you analyze our even bhakti, spiritual life, chhod do. In our day-to-day life, material life also, it's a whole life of tapasya, austerity. Right or wrong? What does austerity mean? If you will take and go for a definition in any book or a dictionary, you know. Austerity means extending oneself. Right? In a comfortable situation, if you want to buy a cold drink, you give 10 rupees, buy it. That's not an austerity, right? Austerity is when, tapasya is what? When one extends oneself beyond his comfort zone to achieve something that he wants. Usko tapasya bolte, right or wrong? Now if you analyze in the material world, whole life is tapasya. Right or wrong? You are a young boy, young girl, school life, right? Children studying till night 11, 12 o'clock, getting up at 5 o'clock. I want 98%. Then to get a PhD, all tapasya, right? To get a wife, tapasya. Household life, tapasya. To get a job. Whole life, basically, if they analyze and they are truthful, right or wrong? Isn't it tapasya? Austerity hai. वो accept करे ना करे. And then at the higher level, like we see austerity of Hiranyakashipu, going and standing on top of a mountain, and we'll read about it. Now, this austerity that we are talking about for a job, for a career, or for Hiranyakashipu, why are we doing this austerity? What is the goal? I. Me. Right? Everything in the material realm that you do, the whole center is I. Bhogvancha. We are Bhogvanchis. I don't know, I made up that word, whether there is any such word. For Bhogvancha, which Bhogvancha is at different levels and different flavors. Sometimes I want a good wife, sometimes I want a degree. Hiranyakashipu wants to become Lord Vishnu. Bhogvancha ke liye we do all the tapasya. Temple. What is the tapasya that we do in the temple? And I'll give you a very nice example. We'll end with example of Srila Prabhupada, no better example. When we come to a temple, what tapasya does the temple makers do? See, what will come immediately to our mind? Arey, temple jayenge to Prabhu ji mere ko bolega jhadu maro. If I go to the temple, that Prabhu ji will tell me to wash pots. Right? Yes, that is all tapasya, we agree. But do you know what is the real tapasya? The real austerity that a temple endures a person to do? From the I to you. This you at the highest level is Krishna. Then at next level is Sadhu, Srila Prabhupada, Guru, and devotees. Simple example. I have personally seen, all of you all must have seen, when somebody comes to a temple. He may be a double PhD, he may be a multi-billionaire, Arbopati. You know, when he comes into the temple, what does he do naturally? Naturally, he may not pay dandavats. He may not have that understanding. But at least he'll stand in front of, be it Prabhupada, or, you know, you have temples from north to south, Kedarnath, Badrinath, to Ranganath, to Jagannath, to Gopinath, to Dwarkanath, right? So when they go to the temple, what is naturally that they do? Naturally that happens. At least they do this, right? And for that time frame that they are in the temple, they are from beyond I to whoever they are standing in front of. Naturally. This is what the temple facilitates. Try to understand. When you'll be standing in front of Krishna, you won't be standing in front of Ramchandra and saying, you know what, I just started a new factory. You know what, I have 32 million. No, no. The temple facilitates, so you can say naturally, it's the starting point from where this person from I, Bhogvancha, he's coming now to which platform? Jiver Sharup hai Krishner Nityadas. Ye journey hai. Please understand. What is the journey? From Bhogvancha to Nityadas. At least the journey starts, right or wrong? When he comes to the temple, uska journey start ho jata hai. From Bhogvancha to reach Krishna, Nitya, Krishna Das, it might take time. But at least he starts looking beyond himself. Today morning I was seeing Kirtan was going on and there was one Mataji, two Matajis. The way they were dancing, they were pretty new faces, I had never seen them. But they were dancing and I was thinking, wow, this same ladies, Matajis could have been dancing anywhere else, no? Dancing in front of Vrindavan Chandra. So temple tapasya is what? I to you. Starting from devotees, Guru, Prabhupada, Krishna. And this is what we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, right or wrong? Prabhupada is a personification of austerity or tapasya. I'm sure you all have seen all in his life, right? His family life, his wife. In his family life, Bhagavad Gita whole transcript getting lost. Then when he got initiated, his god brothers, his god family, traveling from here to US in that Jaladuta. In US, imagine in the dead of the night standing in front of this youth with a, was it a gun or a knife? I don't remember. Dead of the night. At any stage, Prabhupada could have just given up, right or wrong? He could have told his guru, I did what I could. The I was not there. That is what we have to understand. You know, building the temples. If you will read Bombay Jew temple, if you will read Mayapur, you will read Vrindavan. Any temple of Prabhupada came up very easily. Somebody came and gave him $22 million and temple ban gaya. No. What an example. Where the center is what? I. The center is Krishna, Guru. Prabhupada, everything that he did, all credit he used to give to Guru. And he used to give credit to his disciples. Imagine. He would say, no, because you all are helping me so much, I am being able to do for me. You all are doing this temple came. The I was not there at all. It was you. I'll give you all one personal example. Because see, sometimes when we hear of, scriptural level, Prabhupada to pure devotee hai, he's God sent, that is why. So I like sharing personal examples. Why? Not to show that how great I am. To establish that this principle works. If it works for me, it works for everybody. It works for everybody. So I met my spiritual master Guru first time in Vrindavan, 2001, and 2002 second time I met him in New Vrindavan, US. And when I met him in Vrindavan, it was very brief. When I met him in New Vrindavan, I got some time. So I asked him something. I told him, Maharaj, please give me one personal instruction. Usually I was told, Maharaj, don't give personal instruction. He'll tell you, hear my lectures, everything. So I just asked him. He looked at me. And why I'm sharing is because it's related to what we are talking today. And he asked me, you have some priorities in your life? I said, yes, Maharaj. He said, make sure that at any given time in your life, your priority number 1 is locked. Your priority number 1 has to be Krishna consciousness. Change kya hoga? 2 through 10, 11, 12. 2, 3, 4 can change up, down and all. And then he went on to explain to me what it means. How anything, every thought, word and action of yours, Krishna should be in the center. Now you all might think, ye to instruction tha Prabhu. A lot of gurus give a lot of instruction to their disciples. What is the result of this instruction if you follow? I will share that also in my personal life. Of course, not that I'm following it completely. I'm trying to follow still. A lifelong instruction. One instruction Guru will give you lifelong. Now I can't dare and go and ask another instruction. Puchenge, are you following that? So one time, Maharaj had come to Atlanta. That was the only one time he came in my 17 years, 2009. And at that time, because there were no other disciples of Maharaj, only me and my wife, the whole responsibility was given to us. Because it was Rath Yatra time, so much happening. So temple authority, they said, Baba, you have to manage everything. From booking ticket, programs, dropping, everything you have to do. So we had some other devotees, of course, who were aspiring for Maharaj. So from the time Maharaj came, till the time Maharaj left, he flew out. What I did was, because Maharaj had given me an instruction more than that, I made sure that everything that was done now, I didn't do nothing. Who's going to pick him up from the airport? You. Who's going to put garland in Srimad Bhagavatam? You. Who's going to drop him? You. मैंने सबको depute कर दिया. I was there, of course, standing in the background, making things happening properly. What was the result? After one day, from Atlanta, Maharaj went to Florida, I went to Alachua, and I got my second initiation there. Ek din, today and tomorrow day after. And after the second initiation, over there, initiation happened small, 10, 15, not like 4, 5,000. So after the initiation, all of us go and meet Maharaj. We pay obeisances and all. So we were going and paying obeisances, we are going and paying obeisances. So I went and paid obeisances. Maharaj embraced me. Now please be very clear on why I am sharing this. There is something important to learn from this, that is why I am sharing. Not that how great I am, don't get the wrong message. So Maharaj embraced me and he told me in my ear something which is still like my meditation. He said, Ramchandra Prabhu, I am very proud of you. And he gave a reason. I am very proud of you for how you are taking care of your God brothers and God sisters in Atlanta. Now there were two ways I took it. One was that my doing this pleased Guru, right? And the second, I took it as an instruction also. Maharaj is reminding me, beta, what you are doing is good, but you have to continue doing it. Continue. You stay in the background. That is Maharaj's, if you see most of the Maharajas in our institution, the I factor, that is what we are trying to understand. What is the real tapasya? We can be best singers, we can give very wonderful Bhagavatam classes, and at the end of the Bhagavatam class, we are waiting to hear, Prabhu ji, kya class diya aapne? Prabhu ji, aapne kya kirtan kiya? Means the I is in the center. In bhakti also, we have to be very careful. How much is the I? The whole journey is from Bhogvancha to Nityadas. Samsiddhim Haritoshanam. Temple facilitates that. Whatever we do, you know, if we are on the altar, I like leading life how if Sham Jagannath Prabhu is in charge, Prabhu ji, kya karna hai, aap bolo. Life becomes very easy. Sham Jagannath Prabhu ne bola, maine kiya. Hriti Udayo ne bola. At higher level, what Guru wants, keep that in the center. What Prabhupada wants, keep that in the center. Then you are free from this pride form of Hiranyakashipu. The E. T was the tapasya. Now how to understand this tapasya? We've heard it, but application. The E stands for what? What is a temple? Prabhupada established. We are talking on basis of what how Prabhupada established our temples. Education. I'm sure all of you all have read the 7 purposes. Prabhupada so clearly says, our temples are for what? What is the purpose? To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and to educate all peoples in the technique of spiritual life. For what reason? In order to check the imbalance of values of life and to achieve real unity and peace in this world. We can have a full class on this one purpose. Education, swadhyaya. This is what Hiranyakashipu knows the strength of all this. That is why he is trying to destroy it. And see, so unfortunately in today's day and age, our society, our culture has given it up. People's understanding of temple is pretty shallow. I have been, before this institution, I was in another institution, and through that I was in many other institutions connected. I have never seen a more organized educational institution like ours, truthfully. Prabhupada said, these are educational universities. Our temple should be like educational universities where the person gets the higher understanding. देखो एक होता है paravidya और एक होता है अपराविद्या ना. एक material knowledge and one is spiritual knowledge, right? If you compare the two, because today there is no balance, that is what Prabhupada said, to establish a balance. We are not saying don't go for material knowledge, don't go for IIT. No, we don't have a problem. But with that, you have to have Shastric study, Vedic study, which Hiranyakashipu is trying to blow off. Because see, in my class, in my talks, I try to explain what is the difference between the two knowledges, material and spiritual knowledge. Material knowledge is all about lifestyle. Spiritual knowledge is all about life. Material knowledge is external, na? Lifestyle, nice clothes, nice hairstyle, nice. But spiritual knowledge is what? Leading your life Inner. Spiritual is everything inner, not external. Of course, externally we wear dhoti, kurta, and that's a different thing. How much inner strength we have, inner peace, that is real life. So lifestyle versus life. Second, material knowledge is all about quantity. Spiritual life is all about quality. All numbers. See, wonderful example, no? Duryodhana and Arjuna. They had two choices. You want Krishna or Krishna's army? Who went for whom? Everybody knows. Quantity versus quality. Third, material knowledge just gives us everything to prove ourselves. Spiritual knowledge gives everything to improve our lives. We can talk so much about it. Prove ourselves means Hiranyakashipu, na? Means I, I'm the best, I. Spiritual knowledge is all the time about improving. Fourth is, material knowledge is going through life. You just go through life. Childhood, birth, old age, and then you die away. Right? I give the example of 4 bottles. When you're a child, you have a milk bottle. When you grow up, the bottle changes. What it becomes? Thumbs up, Limca, whatever it is. When it grows, that bottle changes into a beer bottle. And what is the last bottle? When you're in the ICU, everybody knows, right? It's a bottle. अब वो bottle में glucose डाल दिया for survival. You go through life, but spiritual education is you grow through life at every phase. You know, we give the example of caterpillar to butterfly. Butterfly, you become so beautiful. You go and grow through life. And fifth one is what? Material knowledge is only information. Spiritual education is transformation. Transformation what? Internal, not external. Transformation of our outlook to life only. From the I to you. That is why Prabhupada said, systematic education is very important, right? That is why we encourage people now, where to start your education from? Bhagavad Gita. First study Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita starts where? Science of the soul, right? Ends where? Sarva dharman parityajya. Now you got understanding. I am soul, Bhagavan, sarva dharman parityajya. Where Bhagavad Gita ends, then where you start? Srimad Bhagavatam. We have examples of Bhagavatam. What are the first few prayers? Arjuna, first prayer. Second is whom? Uttara. Third, Kunti Devi. All these prayers, if you see, they are a picture of sarva dharman parityajya. When Uttara was in danger, in calamity, whom did she go to? She didn't go to Bhima, she didn't go to Arjuna, she didn't go to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Whom did she go to? Sarva dharman mam ekam sharanam. Where does the Bhagavatam end? End of Bhagavatam is Nam Sankirtana Yasya. Right? Establishing holy name, Sankirtan. And where that ends, what starts? Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is all about Sankirtan, holy name. And it brings us to that highest platform. Gopi Bhartiyor Pad Kamalayor. दास 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 अनुदास. यही हमारा जर्नी है ना, we said ना. But we don't know how to get onto that journey. The vehicle is temple. And the charioteer, for the vehicle you need a charioteer, a guru, a sadhu, who will take us from this platform to that platform of das, education, right? So TE is done, M. The PLE is just going to be mentioned, I think. So now we have tapasya. Temple makes us do tapasya from I to looking beyond yourself. E is education, it educates us. Now when you get educated, right? Now Prabhupada transforms his temple from an educational institution to what does he transfer it into? A hospital. You all must have heard. Prabhupada used to also say our temples are like hospitals. Curing you from what? From the bhavarog, bhavasagar. This material sufferings that everybody is going through, we give the medication, the medicine. Because only when you will systematically study the Shastras, then only you will get a proper understanding that for the time, place, circumstance, the yuga that we are in, what is the prescribed medicine. Because if you don't have an understanding, right, if you go into any store and just pick up any, then will you get the cure? It's not the fault of the medicine, right? So then you get an understanding, oh, meditation to Satyuga mein, oh, yajna to Treta Yuga mein, oh, DT worship to Dwapar Yuga mein. Kalau kya hai? Kalau tad Hari Kirtanat. The temple provides you with that medication. which becomes meditation later on. But medicine for that time, place, circumstance, for that person, what it is, it provides you. One example comes to my mind. There are so many examples, don't have the time. How much Srila Prabhupada, rather one of his purposes, to teach and encourage, this is the fourth purpose, to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy names of God as revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada used to be so pleased when the devotees used to come back. We are talking of those days. They used to come and report, oh, we did Sankirtan here, we did Sankirtan here. One time His Holiness Indradum Swami Maharaj, he shares that he came back from Kirtan. And he told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, today we went, we did Kirtan, we did this, that. And then he spoke of one particular instance. He said, there was one lady. She was not ready to hear. What did she do? She closed her ears, she put her hands inside her ear and she was, I don't want to hear. What was Prabhupada's response? Do you know what was Prabhupada's response? Prabhupada said, you should have gone, pulled her fingers out, and in her ears loudly you should have chanted, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ye medicine hai. Because a child doesn't like taking the medicine, right or wrong? You have to force him. So we can talk so much about this medication. I had some very nice examples of Sadhvi Mataji in US and my personal, but we don't have the time. So, three things we understood. Tapasya, education, and that education gives us a proper understanding of what is the medication. I'm over time. I'm just going to mention what is PLE. That's all. P. What happens when somebody does this tapasya, comes to the temple, gets education and performs this, takes this medicine? First thing, PLE, they are gradual. Prabhuji, 2 minutes, Alan. Prabhuji is looking at me. He's telling me this is your last class. P stands for purification. Purification starts happening, right? What is the meaning of purification? Purification means to bring something which is polluted to its natural state. That is purification, right? Polluted state, abhi hum log ne kya bola? Hum log ka polluted state, what is our polluted state? Bhogvancha. We are Bhogvanchis. We are trying to enjoy independent of Krishna. So when you take this medicine, what happens? From this Bhogvancha, your journey starts. To where? Krishna Nityadas. And gradually, as your journey will go, you will see you are coming closer to that platform. You are coming closer to that platform. You are coming. So purification starts happening. And this purification is internal. Cheto darpana marjanam bolte hai na. हमको समझना चाहिए. Because when we chant this, we should try to. Because the more you hear, I'm sure everything that I'm talking in the class, everybody has heard. Have I spoken anything new till now? Nothing. But it's important to keep hearing and refreshing ourselves. Cheto darpana marjanam. Ka marjanam kiska hoga? Internal, of your heart, of your consciousness, the purification. Because the disease is inside. Right? We are not Hiranyakashipu externally. Are we Hiranyakashipu externally? No. So the disease is internal, the purification, the remedy is also has to be internal. So purification starts happening. Examples. From simply living, no thinking, we start coming to a platform of simple living, high thinking. Purification. Actually, there is a purpose of Prabhupada also, purpose number 6. As this purification keeps happening, what does this now further condense into? Love. L. T-E-M-P was purification. This is all a result now. We don't have to do anything for this. We have to do T-E-M. Result kya hoga? We are talking of results. From this purification, now what happens? Love. I personally know people who first used to tell me, I like coming to your temple. After some time, you know what they used to do? Now they tell me, I love coming to your temple. Similarly, initially we may like the devotees. Initially we may like our Guru, we may like Prabhupada, we may like Krishna. But the more as we saw, this whole process we go through, this like gets transferred to love. Then you love doing whatever you are doing. And love is a product of the heart. Like is a product of the brain. The brain discriminates. I like this, I dislike it. I like this, I dislike it. Love is a product of the heart. Can you imagine? Just think. How much Haridas Thakur must have loved Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That the minute he got to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is wrapping up his pastimes and going away, Haridas Thakur gave up his life. Right? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, he said, I can't tolerate life without you. Can you imagine what that love must have been, that he sacrificed his life? No, I'm gone. We have example, Ladini Mataji, what love she had for Prabhupada, she sacrificed her life, right or wrong? She sacrificed her life. From like, now it's come to the platform of love. And the last E, actually I had mentioned that abhi hum log Rath Yatra celebrate karne wale na. What is this Rath Yatra all about? The love of whom? The Brajvasis for Krishna. That's Rath Yatra, no? I'm sure we'll have a class about it also. What is the E? E is now what you experience. Ecstasy. I am not using the word happiness. Happiness is a product of body, mind and intelligence. Ecstasy is a product of the soul. What you experience at that level, उसको आनंद बोलते हैं. इसीलिए जीव का स्वरूप क्या है? सच्चिद आनंद. So now what you are experiencing is anand. What the temple is giving you, can you imagine? Not happiness. Happiness, I define happiness as relief between two miseries. That is happiness of the material world. Anand is permanent. One time, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj in Gita Nagari. Can you all believe this? Even today, I keep sharing this to refresh my memory. He started Kirtan of Tulsi Puja in the morning. We do Tulsi Puja, na? After Samsar Dava and all. He started Tulsi Puja Kirtan. Can you all believe when that Kirtan ended? That Kirtan ended when it was time for Guru Puja. How long was that? 2.5 hours. Everybody will say, "Arey, humko baith ke japa karna hai." Kirtan is going on from Tulsi Aarti to Guru Puja. What would have driven him to do that? Did he do it artificially? This is what you experience. That same where we started from tapasya T, that will end in ecstasy. Now it's not tapasya. Now coming to temple, taking shelter of devotees, Prabhupada, Guru, it's not tapasya. You love doing it because the experience is ecstasy. Now, from Hiranyakashipu, you have transformed from Hiranyakashipu to where? To Jaya Vijaya. Right? Hiranyakashipu is a miserable condition. Na? Now you are where on which platform? Jaya Vijaya. Where? We started the class there, right? Jaya Vijaya are ready to do anything for the Lord. Now you are ready to do anything for Radha Vrindavan Chandra. You are ready to do anything for Prabhupada. You are ready to do anything for Guru. And you are ready to do anything for the devotees. Thank you all very much. Prabhuji, please forgive me. I have again gone over time 10 minutes. And it might be my last class. I don't mind if that also you decide. So if anybody has any questions, comments, I like hearing also. I'll be here around for some time and we can have some questions or comments. And I hope that this acronym of temple, more than others, it helps me. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.